Dwarves of Erebor heard there was a tournament going on and they are not one to turn it down. Hey, how's it going, guys? My name is Jackie Fish and welcome back once again to another Total War Rise of Mordor online battle. This was taken from the Rise of Mordor tournament, but is currently going on. This is one of the other semi-final matches between TZN and Spiff. So in this battle we have the forces of Erebor. You know, obviously always fun to see the Dwarves throw themselves into combat and see what they can do, and they're going to be going up against the forces of Gondor, so another Gondorian faction. However, this is a little bit of a different army. Both these forces have kind of gone a bit more missile heavy compared to the last matches, with archers and also crossbowmen and some javelinmen as well. However, Gondor have gone for much more of the cheaper bowmen, just some Gondor militia. That's kind of one of the cool things about these tournaments, is that we actually get to see kind of, you know, cheaper units that necessarily aren't brought in proper battles where players have so much money that they don't really care too much. So if we take a look quickly, we'll go on slow-mo just as the battle is kicking off and the forces are getting closer and closer, and just take a quick look at what both sides are bringing, because this is a tournament match, and I guess more, you guys will be interested to see what, what different types of builds and armies and forces people are bringing. So on the left flank for the Gondorian player, we do have 2 units of Gondorian cavalry supported by one of the more expensive Knights of the Silver Swan. Obviously you can't really fit your entire cavalry force just with Knights of the Silver Swan, so we are seeing more of these kind of bog standard Gondor cavalrymen just with them. I mean, I say bog standard, they are very, very good. But on the front line, we do have 4 units of Gondorian spears. I mean, nothing too, shy away from, just a very sturdy front line, and then 1 unit of more aggressive Gondorian sword infantry. So it does seem like they're going to go for much more of a holding defensive line and then let the cavalry do its thing. Over on the right hand side, we do have 2 more units of Knights of the Silver Swan. So the Gondor player going very hard on cavalry, which completely makes sense, right? You know, if you go hard on these horses, then you're going to really have a good time against the Dwarves who don't really have access to much cavalry whatsoever. Obviously the front line is going to take a pounding, and that's probably why the Gondor player went for more spears than swords. Behind them, we do just have 2 units of cheap bow militia and a unit of these coast levies, the javelinmen. Again, great unit. Javelin's going to pierce the dwarven armor fairly effectively. And then finally, for the general, we do have the Citadel Guard and then 1 Fountain Guard just behind that. These guys have left the White Tree to dive into battle and defend the honor of Gondor. Then over on the Dwarven side, their roster is going to be a little bit more probably, one for a fact their roster is a bit smaller than every other faction, but the Dwarves are going to be, a very deadly force to be reckoned with. They have some of the Erebor crossbowmen. I believe they have 3 units of that scattered throughout their battle line. These guys can really rack up some casualties, and I think it's going to be very important to get some volleys off onto the horses, because the more crossbow bolts going off on the horses is going to make their charges that bit less impactful. We do actually have some cavalry for the Dwarves, the Erebor merchants. So these are going to be the merchants from Lake Town and the cavalry from Dale. They have 3 units of them scattered around, so going to have to look to support these as best as they can as the first couple of volleys do pop off. But then just have a handful of the spear guards of Erebor. I think 2 units on either flank. We then also have some of the Erebor Axe Warriors as well. Pretty deadly unit that can get stuck in and rip their opponents apart. We then also have another unit of Erebor Axe Warriors. So that's going to basically be the main front line for them. 6 units of that. With a unit of Grimhammers as the general back here as well. This unit is absolutely amazing. Been Devour, got the golden trim, and are ready to use it in a battle. So let's get this battle started. The Dwarves are getting a little bit outranged right now by the volleys coming in from the bow militia. However, the bow militia aren't exactly the most skilled warriors, and now that the crossbows are going to be exchanging that missile fire, these crossbows will be doing way more damage to the Gondorian bow militia than anything else. But it seems like they're actually focusing on killing the spear infantry, which I actually think is a pretty good idea. By ignoring this bow militia, yes, you're going to take casualties, but at the end of the day, the infantry are going to clash way before either of these bows kill each other. And I think it's up to the Dwarves to really try and smash through this line as quickly as possible before they can really utilize the cavalry. Another volley coming in right here. But again, the Dwarven armor is thick. These arrows aren't, the best made. They aren't forged in the mines of Erebor like this equipment is. So, a lot of these arrows are just going to be popping off, and yeah, they're racking up 1, 2, 3, 4 kills off onto the front lines, and I think that's going to really, really help out because, yeah, these bow militia haven't racked up a single kill yet. The cavalry, though, is going to be seizing the advantage, moving around, basically just utilizing all this space. And I think that's a really good idea. You know, Gondor have a much more mobile force, so they're going to want to try and use it to move their way around the flanks, try and really stretch the Dwarven line, because they don't have enough infantry to cover everything. They really, really don't. Well, we are getting some of the coastal levies moving forward, and these guys, you know, skirmishers are always well renowned for their ability to do some decent damage, but quite quickly the Dwarven player is just going to retreat back his crossbows, probably turn around and get a nice volley into the back of these warriors. Yep, exactly that. Maybe try and take off a few of these javelin men. Yeah, take off actually a bunch of them. Wow, that was pretty brutal. Took down a handful of them. That's really good, because every single coastal levy you kill is one less man throwing a javelin at you. So really nice skirmish play right now, and I'm surprised actually that I guess the Gondor player doesn't need to commit quite yet. But yeah, I'm surprised that the Gondor player maybe isn't being a little bit more aggressive, knowing that his missiles are basically useless. He could very much try and force his melee engagement to then further increase his cavalry dominance, because the more cavalry he has brought around, the better it is going to be for him. And yeah, he is really enveloping, and yeah, the Dwarven player might want to think about just closing in this space right now, not being as aggressive as necessarily, you know, he is. He is quite spread out right now. If I was maybe a Dwarf player, I would completely box myself in, go full new box, and just really try and abuse that. Yeah, these Gondor Bow Militia are basically bait right now. Looking at how few kills they've racked. Have they racked up a single kill yet? 1 kill on this unit, and 4 kills on this one. Yeah, I mean, obviously these archers are mainly here to be like, they should be focusing down like a unit of like goblins or, you know, orc rabble, you know, the weaker bowmen. So against the dwarves, they don't really have that armor piercing they need, but they're kind of more here for a distraction, you know, Oh, a cavalry charge! We got a cavalry charge right into the Erebor crossbowmen. This is catastrophic right now. Another cavalry engagement right there as the merchant guard rip into the Gondor cavalry. Really, really nice moves right there. Getting, oh my god, that was very, very nice there by the Gondor player, taking the dwarves off guard, killing a handful of them, and also committing to the cavalry fights as well. This is awesome. 1v1 horseman battles is exactly what they want, because these Swan Knights will eat the merchant guard alive. They do not stand a chance right now. And taking these engagements off on the flanks, where it's going to take, you know, 10 minutes to get over here, is perfect timing. And then you can just utilize this cavalry, and then all of a sudden the cavalry are in a much worse position. Right now you're going to get another Gondorian cavalry charge into the back of the Dwarven warriors, and yes, they're going to get in onto the Swan Knights. However, that's going to leave them pretty vulnerable. And then we also have another cavalry charge, immediately another unit of Knights of the Silver Swan diving in against the Dwarven general. And that's not going to be good right there. The Gondor player is just playing out his battle plan right now, running into them. Look at that, a frontal charge, not braced whatsoever. That's going to be deadly, losing so many of your general. That's exactly what the Gondor player wants to have. You know, his front line isn't engaged against the Erebor axes or anything like that, and his cavalry is just, you picking apart the Dwarven formation. However, the Dwarves are not done yet. They managed to rip through this unit of Gondor swords, killing 30 of them, and get a really nice charge off onto the javelins. So they are still utilizing their cavalry very nicely. But I mean, my god, the Gondor player is just having a field day right now. Being able to reduce the Grimhammers to, you know, only 30% is really, really nice. Being able to kill an entire crossbow unit is huge. And also, obviously, winning this cavalry engagement is pretty good as well. The Dwarves do turn around, which can leave them a bit more vulnerable to this missile fire coming in. However, yeah, I mean, right now it's not looking good. I mean, it's still obviously a very close battle. However, the balance of power has slightly shifted in favor of Gondor after that initial engagement, and I think the Dwarves are going to have to just full-on commit to this battle immediately to hope that he can turn this battle back into his favor. And yeah, I think this wider formation just was not beneficial for the Dwarves. They really should have stayed a bit more clumped up, seeing as much cavalry as they saw. I mean, now is going to be a great time to engage. Like these Erebor axes are going to rip through the Gondorians. However, these are spears, and this is exactly, you know, the game plan of Gondor. You know, engage with spears. You're going to lose the frontal engagement, but you know, all of a sudden, I mean, look at all this gap. There's so much space back here, which this cavalry is just going to wrap around, immediately, diving into these crossbowmen, immediately looking to engage in these fights. You've got javelins helping out as well. These coast levies are going to be throwing everything they've got into the spear guard. And look at that, already racking up more kills than their archer militia did. If every single volley gives them 4 or 5 kills, that's going to be huge. In a small-scale battle like this, that is amazing. A nice little cavalry charge here, though, by the dwarves into the back of the stationary Gondor cavalry. That's going to help out quite a bit. However, we still have Swan Knights moving around. Oh, it does actually seem like the dwarves managed to win this fight with the support of the Axe Guard. So that's not too bad. And they are also killing this unit. So again, this battle is not over yet. They've managed to deal with a decent amount of the cavalry. However, we do get a nice rear charge here by the Swan Knights. Luckily, this unit of Spear Guard are in a tight formation, so they managed to repel that pretty effectively. But these crossbows are going to be struggling. So yeah, I mean, that initial engagement heavily went in favor of Gondor. And now we're going to have to see, now the dwarves are actually engaged. They've got their Axe Guard fighting away against spearmen. We're going to have to see how it now does turn in, and if the dwarves can turn this around now that they're in their, their precious melee. We are going to get another cavalry charge here, though. Swan Knights going in. And it seems like the Merchant Guard actually do a decent job of fighting just basic Gondor cavalry. But then again, really struggle against the Swan Knights, which is obviously what we expected. And the Dwarven General being down to 55 men already is a bit scary, I'm not going to lie. But, I mean, like, in all fairness, the cavalry is now dwindled. They've got a unit of cavalry rushing back to the fight, I think. The escort merchants right there. And for the most part, there's not a ton of cavalry left. I mean, there's enough cavalry left to cause some issues. But as we get another beautiful Swan Knight charge into them poor dwarves, there's still not, like, loads left, If the Dwarven Infantry can do what Dwarven Infantry does, and that's exactly what they're doing over here, they can really turn this battle around. And even though advanced power isn't looking great for them, numbers-wise, it's not crazy to think that the dwarves can kill an extra 400 men in melee. It's just going to really come down with how well these cavalry charges can perform and how many they can take care of, as these dwarves just break a huge portion of these coastal levies, and they're stuck in quite nicely against the Citadel Guard. The Gondor Bow Militia as well, that does account for a large portion of the Gondor advantage. This is well over 320 men, or it is 320 men. Another Swan Knight charge coming in, hitting the dwarves as they are stationary. And this is a fresh unit of Swan Knights. Only lost 2 men. However, they have now broken this, so immediately the cavalry is going to go into this combat, and you do lose horses as you try pull out. And they've just won over here as well. The dwarves are not done. They are rallying to their king. And if they can pin down all this cavalry, get this infantry in, then this battle is definitely not over. I mean, this is crucial right now. The dwarves, who are looking like they were in such a sorry state at the beginning of the melee engagement, all of a sudden this cavalry is, very depleted. Only 2 units left and a smaller unit here. The dwarves have 1 unit of half-strength cavalry. Maybe can just about break this one, but probably not. They also have a unit, actually the unit has already come back over there. So pretty good. However, we do have some dwarves who are engaged against the Fountain Guard. Their pikes are obviously just going to completely outrange the dwarves very, very effectively. Oh, we got a nice 1v1 here as well between the warriors. Oh, he's going to be able to push him back. Nice. Keep him at range. Oh my god, why do my dwarves just... I mean, the dwarves can just kind of like duck underneath the pikes, which isn't too bad. But yeah, pretty nice envelopment going on here. However, the dwarves are doing an amazing job right now, fighting their way through the Citadel Guard. Is this 2 units of Citadel Guard? No, Gondor Spears and the units of Citadel Guard. And they've got some crossbows. We'll be able to shoot the enemy general in the back as well. And the nice thing is they're keeping like their engagement all the way out here. Spears are getting involved. And all of a sudden, the Dwarven balance of power bar has shifted back into their favor. Wow, what a turnaround. I really, really love these tournament battles. They're just really good players, all throwing into the mix. And if you guys want to check out this and be a part of the future tournaments, make sure you join the Discord. I'll leave a link to it down below in the description. I think I forgot in the previous video, but I won't forget this time. Definitely check that out. And these crossbows are going to be doing some serious damage. Luckily, some coastal levies moving in. Obviously, anything to engage the dwarves. However, the coastal levies won't be around here for long. They will be getting taken down fairly quickly, because the Dwarven crossbows are actually really, really good in melee. Unfortunately, the Dwarven cavalry is being beaten back there. However, you know, the Gondor horses are in so few numbers that their charges are not going to be as effective as they were, you know, a second ago at the beginning of a battle. And again, these Swan Knights are down to 8 men now. The Dwarves have done such a good job over here of just nullifying that cavalry engagement. And right now, more and more men are being brought in, but I think, you know, a charge into the back right here is going to be deadly by the Grimhammers. These guys will rip through the Gondor spearmen from the back. However, we are getting Gondorian horsemen rushing back to the battle as fast as they can, looking to reinforce and give everything they have to this battle. Moving in right there, but that's not going to be enough to break the dense dwarfs. You know, the dwarfs are sturdy. They don't get flung around like everybody else. They are mountains. But a hammer and anvil coming in with only 20 Gondorian horses left. Who knows if it is going to be enough. I think going for the general is going to be very important. But all of a sudden, this unit of Gondor spear infantry breaks, which we're very close to doing. That's going to free up so many men. And then look at that. The morale is dwindling for all of the enemy units right now. A charge coming in onto the dwarf general, trying to get that morale shot. You know, it's a very smart idea. That's going to hurt. We're going to see the dwarven general drop. He is sturdy, he is holding, and he's taking down a few of these horses. Oh my god, they've lost 6 horses. That's a lot. That's over a quarter of their remaining power. And they just need these units to break. Oh my god, look at that as well. The remaining Swan Knights are so far away. They need to get back here ASAP. And it seems like the Dwarves, you know, they are sprinting, not good over long distances, but trying everything they can to get back here exhausted. But any bit of morale shock is going to be huge, as these Gondorian spearmen can break at any time. The Fountain Guards utilizing that longer reach bow and doing such an effective job at pushing down these dwarfs. How many kills are these guys on? Only 42. They definitely need to go a little bit harder right now. And obviously, you know, attacking this unit of Dwarven Axemen into the back of these guys would be huge. And honestly, the dwarves are looking very good, even with these charges from the remnants of the Gondorian men. However, the Gondor general is broken. That is going to probably be the end game right there. The archers breaking. Lots of the smaller bow militia just already running. And oh, how unfortunate that is as well. The Gondorian general broke at 60 men. That sucks. That really, really does. Because sometimes your general can just stick around, and yeah, look at that. Huge breaks from the Gondorian roster. The dwarves, I mean, I'm super surprised about the dwarves managing to bring this one back. They very effectively nullified the cavalry advantage. And after losing so many men to begin with, they really brought it back. That was a beautiful, you know, initial kind of salvo of using the cavalry, launching the cavalry into the back ranks of the dwarfs, using that nice, you know, the dwarfs being spread out to their advantage, and then the dwarfs just hit right back and got stuck into melee as quickly as possible. And I think also keeping these crossbows alive as well, allowing these guys just to literally get like 3 or 4 kills every single volley over 5 minutes has just been helped to kill, you know, one of the tankiest units in the game, which is the Erebor axes. And now the rest of the Swan Knights are being sent back, routing from the field. The Fountain Guard have formed up a nice little pike wall. However, the dwarfs are already immediately very close to this, and they'll be able to bring this down. You are no Spanish mercenaries with your pike wall. I mean, you are Fountain Guard, but even still, they'll be getting hit soon. And I think it is only a matter of time until the rest of the units break, and yeah, this battle is taken down. The dwarfs falling back, obviously looking to envelop this unit of Fountain Guard, especially when they try and move as well. Rack up some nice kills on them. And then as soon as these other units are free up, I think as soon as this unit breaks, we'll probably see the rest of the army being thrown around. So this was a great match from the Spiff versus TZN battle. I have a bunch more replays from this tournament as well, so if you guys want to see the tournament, make sure to let me know in the comments down below by dropping a like. The last video did really, really well, so if you guys want to keep on seeing these tournament matches, do let me know, and then maybe in the next couple I can do some cinematic shots as well, you know, cover replay, add in some cinematic spice. If that's what you guys would like to see, let me know in the comments down below, and obviously by dropping a like. So let's go see who actually won this match, because I don't actually know who was who. So TZM was playing the Dwarves, and General Spiff was playing the Force of Gondor. So a great match from both the players. And the nice thing is about this being a best of 3 as well is that after, you know, one of these matches, the players would have developed their armies to be, you know, oh, like, oh, this person brought a lot of Gondorian warriors this time, so now I'm going to bring a bunch of this. I mean, the Dwarven roster is kind of small, so it's pretty obvious what he's bringing, but, you know, it's a nice little mixed match. And yeah, even though the cavalry did so well, the spears just got cut apart, which, again, we were always going to expect. I mean, the Gondor bone militia actually did do pretty decent for how cheap they are. Definitely can't complain there whatsoever. But yeah, again, the Dwarven Axe Guard, 200 kills, 100 and almost 200 kills, 100 kills with crossbows. Even the Merchant Guard doing surprisingly well, honestly, against Swan Knights. And yeah, this unit of Swan Knights and this unit of cavalry just did not pay for themselves, unfortunately. They needed to do, like, you know, they kind of needed all their cavalry to rack up at least 150 kills, at least, I think. So yeah, that was an awesome battle. Big shout out to the players and the Rise of Mordor Discord for sending this one into me. I'll definitely be checking out the other ones if that's what you guys want to see. And fish out.